Well, welcome to the kick on this Thursday. Today, we're going to do something a little bit special, a little bit mad. I actually don't know what I have let myself in for, but we wanted to give you a bit of a behind the scenes look at how we create the kick. Now, we got this program underway at the start of the pandemic, and in 2020, we had absolute fun, did about 64 episodes. Took a little bit of a break last year because the madness continued, and we brought it back in 2022 because we wanted to be able to bring you guests and information they're going to help you grow your business. And we know that video is a very powerful tool to do that. But we also thought you could be doing this. You could be doing this for your community. You could be doing it for a business. But how do you go about it? And is it hard work? Because for years we've thought of the television studios when we've seen behind the scenes of creating the news or when they pulled back the cameras and you see those giant cameras on the dollies rolling around the studio worth thousands and thousands of dollars. You kind of think, well, this is out of my league. But the amazing thing about technology is that things do get more accessible and more cost effective. And we thought we'd let you in on a few secrets how you could get started for next to nothing. So today I'm going to let you inside the studio, which is actually just a bedroom at home that during the pandemic became the home remote office. And we're going to be able to show you a little bit about how we put the kick together. You'd be quite surprised exactly what goes into it. Now, just so that we can kind of play around a little bit today, we've got a 3 camera setup in a studio at home. So you're going to be able to look at us from all the different angles and get a sense of actually what goes in. And we'll pull back the curtain just like the Wizard of Oz and take you behind the scenes so you can actually see what goes into it. So here we are. I'm sitting at my desk. Typically, this is where I'm talking to clients all day, every day with Zoom meetings. Now, the good news is we were held out of the Excite Media office for a little while because of the pandemic and, working from home and isolation and all those things. Then of late, we've also had to put up with an air conditioning breakdown. And if you know, working in Queensland, it can be 26 outside, and that means 32 inside. And so we've been waiting for the air conditioning to be fixed, and now the team are back on deck. So we'll come back to that in a moment. But have you ever thought about actually getting video created that informs your clients, whether it's prospective leads, telling them about what you do, why you're different in the marketplace? Or maybe you're interested in actually helping your customers understand about more of what you do. It's not uncommon for me to be talking to somebody who finds out Excite Media does websites, didn't know that we do graphic design and logos, or found out that we do logos, didn't know that we do search engine optimization. So sometimes things like video and other communications help your existing customers to find out more about your business. And that's one of the reasons that we've been introducing some of the members of the Excite Media team. We're not one person, we're not two, there's a team of about 30 talented digital marketers. And we want to make sure that you get to meet all of them because it's their collective wisdom and brains and passion that really make our customers happy in terms of the way in which we deliver results. Now, listen, if you are on any of the social media channels and you want to pop in a comment, please feel free to do that. I'll be trying to keep an eye on everything at once, cameras left, right, and center. We were just having a little bit of a play. I don't know if you spotted this one, but when you come from this angle, this camera is called on your left. If anybody knows what that's a reference to, love to have you make a comment and make sure that we're of one mind, thinking alike, and we'll go from there. But listen, let's have a look at actually what goes into creating a live broadcast, and we can have a bit of a chat about some of those things. And I've got some ideas for you. You may be surprised that you've actually got all the tools to go live in your hand. Yes, you could do it with a smartphone. Laptops are absolutely brilliant. Let's have a bit of a chat about some of the things that go into doing it. There you go. You're in the studio, but let's have a quick remove of that one, quick remove of that one, and we'll just bring in this presentation on how to create a live video broadcast. Now, not only am I going to show you some of the key things you should be thinking about, I'm also going to talk to you about a couple of tools, and be surprised, we're talking tools that are only $100, $150, $200. We're not talking expensive investment to get you up and running just the way we are here. And every now and again, I'll pop back out to the behind the scenes so that you can also very quickly be able to have a look and see, what is the cost of setting up this little studio that we have. I mean, most people have a desk, a home computer, a home laptop, so it's not unusual. Chris Taylor there, a man in isolation, enjoying probably a drink at home. Really good to have your support, and we're making sure that all of those comments go up on the stream. Now, how do we get underway? Well, I think really the most important thing to understand is that you've got to have a purpose. Now, you may have noticed the Sydney Harbour Bridge in the last photo. And why are we doing it that way? Well, the whole lot reason that you're doing video or you're doing any form of communication is to build a bridge with, maybe it's your customers or it's your leads, or potentially even partners that you work with. So over the next few slides, watch for the bridges. There's a story behind them. But you should start to ask, what is the purpose? Is the purpose to drive sales? Is the purpose to lift your brand and inform your community? If you understand your purpose, then you can really start to put a great program together. And for Excite Media, we also had to ask, who is the audience? So you can have hundreds of thousands of people out there, but I don't know if you've heard this said. If you aim for everything, you're basically going to hit nothing. You've got to have a target, you've got to have an audience. And for us, it's small business owners in Southeast Queensland, and that's where we want to serve their needs. Now, if we get more reach, somebody from Sydney or Townsville or Perth hears about us, fantastic. We've got clients in Papua New Guinea, we've got clients in Belgium, but we need to focus, and we focus on small business owners in Southeast Queensland. And at the same time, do work for the likes of the Ipswich libraries, or currently looking after some major pathology clinics around the country. You can have those side kind of audiences, but who's your main audience? That's the most important question to ask yourself before you get going with a live video broadcast. Now, there's some ingredients that go into a live video broadcast that really should be front and center. And if you focus on these, you're going to make sure that you actually get the results that you want. Now, the first one, you may be surprised, because video is a visual medium. It's really all about, all the things that are happening on the screen and making sure that aesthetically it's great. But fundamentally, all of us need to hear what's been said. Yes, obviously, with things like sign language and being able to put text on the screen, those are components. But really, the great thing about getting your sound right is that you cover two things at the same time. You're going to have an understandable, easy to digest video that people can watch live and also watch the recordings. But also, that video, you can strip out the audio and later use it as a podcast for your business. So Excite Media was able to take what was the morning kick, take out the audio and launch it as its own podcast. So never compromise on sound. Try to make sure that you've got a great microphone working, and I'll show you a couple of surprises on that a little bit later in this video. Now, the other thing that you may be surprised about, and listen, you don't have to go all out, but invest in lighting. Lighting is the thing that can actually make sure that everything's bright, it's bubbly, but at the same time, lighting is also good because it can actually add personality. One of the things I've tried to do, and I am working in a home office here, but I've tried to make sure that the lighting is warm. You may notice there's a little bit of a yellow tinge to it rather than a blue tinge. And the reason being, you can actually play with your lighting just to kind of create a little bit of warmth there. And that can actually affect the way in which the people are looking at your video and how you go forward from there. Now, one of the things I really want to encourage you to think about is that it's all about play. Now, you may be surprised that I put this in here. Let's go back just one tick, and purposely put the guys going across the rope bridge kind of thing, because some of us get a little bit trepidation. And the reason being is that we've never done it before. And we're kind of thinking, can I do this? Should I do this? Will I do this? Well, the great thing is, once you get across that first rope bridge, you're probably willing to run back, whereas you probably walked back the first time. And I'd really encourage you to play with live video. Now, here's an interesting little insight for you you might not realize, and I'm going to show you the tool that we use to do the kick. Many of the live video software solutions that are out there, and there are free solutions, they actually allow you to record as well as go live. That means you can actually take this live video, and when you're practicing, playing, you can actually just do it as a recorded session and then look back at yourself later. And there's another way of doing that. You can actually connect your live video to YouTube, and when you connect it to YouTube, you can make that YouTube video a private video. And that way you're going live to YouTube, but it's just private, nobody else is seeing it. So encourage you to play. It's how you'll find your voice. It's how you'll feel comfortable using the tools all at the same time. while you're talking, looking at a camera, and playing with the software. You probably recognize this bridge as we talk about building bridges through live video. It's the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge. And the reason I put this one in here is it's really important that you are you. You can't be me, and you shouldn't want to be. That would be a disaster. You've got to be who you are. So bring your own personality to the conversation. You might be more serious, more fun, more all over the place. You may be wacky, you may be more knowledgeable. It's not a problem. People want to see you and what you've got to offer. So make sure that in the course of what you're doing, you always look to bring your own personality. Now, I said that we're going to bring you some resources so that you could kind of get a sense of what's going on behind the scenes. Now, we've been talking about Just bear with me a moment. So that shot at the top, that actually is all happening on the Logitech, and it's crisp and it's clear. You'll notice that there's a little bit of focus on myself and a little bit of blur in the background. It is an exceptional webcam for streaming. So really encourage you to have a look at that one. All right, let's get back to this. So we'll take that out there. And so there's just a very basic room. There we go. We've got the StreamYard cushion that's been helping me out through this show. Always important to have a sponsor. Let's get that camera sitting back where it should be. And the final thing I'd like to say is make sure that you check out StreamYard. This is the duck sponsor and all part of the show. Well, it's been great to have you on. And look at that. We've just got another special guest coming in. Oh dear, there we go. Looks like we've been having some issues online, and Matt just got back. I think what happened was that Matt realized he still had his earbuds in from the night before trying to get some sleep, and that's totally understandable. Been great to have you along. If we've moved around a bit and had some issues, we're going to put links to where you can get your microphones, your webcams, etc., all in the show notes. And we'll look forward to catching up next week when we do another edition of The Kick and have a chat to one of our account managers and how they look after our clients at Excite Media. I look forward to seeing you then.